Good afternoon. It's January 24th, 2024, and I hope you're having a good day. Always remember you can control how you feel, and there's assistance out there for people to talk to. Not exactly Alcoholics Anonymous. So if you've been following me or you know me, you know I grew up in Plainview, New York. I left there when I was 21, 22. Came back on visits, but growing up there, you go up Old Country Road, you hit Holyrood Cemetery, then you turn left on Post Avenue, and to your left is a big park. It used to be called Salisbury Park, but now it's called Eisenhower Park. So it's interesting the way that properties and streets will change names. You know, we've got a lot of Martin Luther King Jr. streets that run through. You know, people insist that that be included in the heritage of the town. And it's close to where the area I'm speaking to is in Westbury. And it's a heavily African-American populated area. But Salisbury Park changed to Eisenhower Park. Same park, different name. Now get the people. And some people change their names in this life. Other people, well, we all have different names from other lives because we're reincarnated beings. So we're like a bunch of parks with different names that are on the surface right now. And I'm going to be getting to a man who used to be Enoch. His name is Derek Bros. And he's just recently put out a pretty scary video on YouTube because it's all coming together for me. He targets vulnerable women. In this case, Malia was not vulnerable, his ex-wife. But the lady he's with now, Sarah C., I happen to know personally because she was there at Wickensburg. And it's so weird because a follower of my channel sent me an email to my Yahoo account because I always encourage people to, hey, got a problem or you want to touch base, send me a note. So she sent me a note, hey, I'm watching you, I really am enjoying your stuff, I'm learning a lot, and I was taken aback. I'm like, whoa. So I proceeded to communicate with her. She finally sent me a picture of herself and something about her struck a bell. So I said, she had mentioned somewhere along the way, in responding to my video, she mentioned Derek Bros. And so I caught on that, and I said, did you say you, because she looked like a global witness girl, like somebody that had been out there for that event, which I'll talk to, Witness in the Desert. And she said she hadn't been there, but interestingly enough, Derek found out about her and sent her an email. Now she's got a very rare disease tied to her brain. It's very acute and it's very rare. So I was automatically hopeful about her healing because anybody can heal themselves. And I have a feeling she's going to go in that direction because she was hearing everything I said. Her eyes were being opened and she was very full of gratitude to me, which I appreciate. So yeah, Derek had called her and invited her to go to lunch. And you know, she could be perceived as on a track towards passing away, which I hope she doesn't. And now Derek is with this girl, Sarah C., who I knew from Wickensburg. There was a secondary meeting that he had, Witness in the Desert being in 2018, and Wickensburg in November 2019, 1 month after COVID was released in Wuhan. So that was a really occulted conference because he alluded to the fact that he got Wiener's Wiener and was putting together a lot of things that I sort of knew already, but it was a bunch of confirmation at that particular conference. He was on his phone, he was waiting for phone calls and shit like that, and what was going to happen next. And there was a guy named Tim Kelly that talked about these different plant-based assistants to help you heal. And I tried one of them called Bofu, which I'll talk to in a minute. That was at the Wickensburg conference. But I met Sarah C. there, and we all sort of stayed in touch because we wrote down names, and I was in touch with a few people from there. Jeanette, Sarah C., another guy who'd come with a rock. Big dude, he was an Iraq vet. Left his children because he found a rock on the East Coast somewhere and brought it with him out there and was waiting to deliver it to the Hopi. And, I mean, it's okay. He's a great guy. These guys are standing on their own 2 feet, and it's incredible. So Derek put together a super Anon thumb drive. So if you wanted to plug it into a laptop and be anonymous, he gave it as like a raffle prize, a pre-built thumb drive, so you could get in and be like the license plate that goes and plays. So one guy took that. So reincarnation is important because he got Wiener's wiener and he got knocked out afterwards. Breitbart got murdered, and I'll tell the story of Bros because I know a lot about it. I met his fake father, Chuck Bros. But let me digress back to Plainview, my hometown. We smoked pot on the corner of Nassau and Manor, and one of the known products that was assembled was called a Buster. It's a cigarette, carcinogen being what it is. This is American Spirit. So what I've done is I've taken the way we used to do it, when they still do. You remove the tobacco, which in this case is reusable. I mix it with a little cannabis and then re-put it in there and pack it in like it's like it's a piece of artillery. Then when it gets loaded up, there's a little perforation on this cover right here. You can rip that in half, remove the fiberglass, take the detached piece and stick it right in, and that becomes like your new filter, which you don't really need, but this works pretty well. And one day I'll find a lighter so I can actually light it. So we're going to talk about Derek. He's down in, he says Mexico, but I believe it's Guatemala based on the place name. Sarah C's a wonderful girl. After Wickensburg, she started posting content-rich videos. I was wondering about her. She had some issues about her side of the house, and she had left her husband. They had a bad marriage, domestic violence, so she's got stage 4 breast cancer now. I didn't know that, so I feel bad for her. But this man is just killing her as he's speaking in her presence about the fact that she's going to die and he's so sorry. Please send $20 so we can fix her. He's down in Mexico where Carla went, the woman who had Edgar Gase in her high self. Carla Riekert went down to that area in Mexico with other people, and they were healing people, cutting them open with nature and pulling them apart and cleaning organs, and there was no anesthesia, no anything. So he's down there trying to fix her up now with sickle cell advance, the cells from babies that you can use to proliferate stem cell. Apparently they've moved along down there with the sheep, and he's thinking that her breast cancer is going to be healed by some progressive type of pharmacy that's down there. So send him $20 so he can get her better before she dies. It's pathetic. Right in front of her face, you're going to see it. You just have to see through the way this guy works. He feels people out. He attaches to them, like John Keane, who's in poverty, and he brings them down. And now he's in Mexico. He left his ex-wife. He's been married a couple of times. I hold nothing against people that are married once or more than once, but they all seem to end. God bless the people that grow old together and hold hands until the end, because that's proper. It's such a rarity, though, because we're anxious, we find somebody, we have kids, and we get divorced. And marriage is a curse. The rings are a curse. Read books by Dolores Cannon. This girl client stared through time when Dolores showed her her ring. She opened her eyes and said, "Oh, no wonder you," because it was a diamond ring. Horns of the Goddess is the name of the book. So we're going to watch Derek, but take a good look at my cover. We'll examine it real quick, then we'll get into an older video that he did when he was an executive briefing Congress way back when he was balding. He wears a hat now and he always wears black. But here's Derek. These are some excerpts from Sarah C's one video. She's got a lot of them on YouTube and they're all very dark. I mean, these girls were being hung, the ones that are there in the masks. And this guy on the bottom was in it, so I put different pictures. This is kind of like Derek, how he was before he came out of the mask. He's like the original Enoch. He worked in Israel, and you know, he would say he's not Mossad, but you know, witting or unwitting, he's him. So here's him in C-SPAN way back when. This is him kind of now on his YouTube channel. And these are graphic depictions of the area that I believe him to be in. Far away, medium, and close in. So that's my cover. This is Sarah's YouTube channel. I mean her BitChute channel. And here's Derek. I haven't even played this yet, but this is a congressional hearing, so I'm sure it'll play. And it was on illegal file sharing way back when. I don't care about ads, just play. Ad block, oh shit. Let me fix this. Okay, I got my ad my ad blocker undone. And this of course is an ad. So this is gonna be Bros. Better be Bros. Alright, this will be good. Now, let me get my sound going.
And motion picture industry officials, along with file-sharing advocates, testified
So there's
at this
LL
3-hour
Cool
hearing.
J. He's
It was held
hypnotized by
Tuesday
Harley
the Senate Governmental
Pasternak.
Affairs Subcommittee.
This is obviously a congressional hearing. A couple people showing up. What kind of vampires we have showing up here? These cretins. They all know each other. Behind the scenes. Yeah, we're gonna give it to them, huh? So Bros was gonna get on here on file sharing. And I'll try and move it along just to see what's going on. Okay, this is going to be a long one
Industry
now.
has lost 25% in sales over the last 3
under current law that
Now,
requires
what's interesting here is I've watched this before and I didn't catch Bros himself in this.
That's precisely the way I
So here's a guy from Motion Pictures. Here's LL Cool J. Again, these guys are all talking about, you know, copyrights and file sharing and licensing and it's all bullshit. So here's the guy from Arkansas.
To notify the user, but what we're
Recording
going to do in
industry.
advance.
Talking about an e-commerce website.
Now this guy's
Talking
interesting
about
because he's a Brit.
The mechanism which is regarded by consumer
This is
electronics
all file
companies,
sharing back in
computing industries, and
way back
academics
when.
and consumers with viable services.
I'll attach this because it's
But
got a lot of good content in
It's
it.
control, and the usual names and suspects want to maintain it.
So all these guys are hypnotized now to talk their purpose,
keep buying the music or
and
the
then
product.
they hypnotise you on TV. So
They
back with
will
him
be
again. I don't know if we're going to
whether
see
or not
Derek on this.
your
Unless he's at the very end.
Institute legal measures that are widely perceived as draconian. They may encourage disrespect for law, especially among young people.
Draconian.
Still more complex situations
Biomedical
like
Ethics
this.
Director for
Felt
the
in the
University of
marketplace
Virginia.
in buying things.
See, these
and
guys are all in place
our
to do what they need
strategies
to
that
do.
in fact generate any change in behavior. One of the witnesses talked about the dark net, and
That would be
there are
like
kind of other
Bros.
variations of technology that could push.
We had a community of friends
She's
online that he
very
played
much into it.
for years, but I'll take 2.
So
We'll put that in an envelope and we'll open it up in 2 years.
Uh-oh.
I want to thank you both very, very much for
alright,
your
so
presence here. Your
although
full
that he
testimony will
was
be
listed on the cover to this, as you can see, he appeared, and although his face is here, his testimony isn't, and this is dated 2003. I'll click this just for shits and grins. So that's the video we just watched, and I don't see Derek in person, but I've seen him testify before. So let's go to his, this is his current YouTube video now. We're just gonna I'm gonna get it ready to play, but I want to talk about him for a minute, so you get an idea who you're dealing with here. I mean, I've met him, I've talked to him on the phone. He knows me. He calls me a, you know that term when you hang around on web, on chats, and you're viewed as a troublemaker, a troll. That's what he called me. And so I'm going to let him speak. Again, he's down south. But I want to walk through some quick information related to this time frame. So as I've told you guys many times before, and we know from the stars, the tribulation runs from 2017 to 2024. It'll be shown from space by two respective total eclipses of the sun. One went from northwest to southeast across America in 2017 in August, before the great sign in heaven in September, and then QAnon in October, which is him. He's Enoch. And then there'll be a secondary solar eclipse running, I believe, from southwest to northeast, or vice versa. But Indianapolis is the centerpiece, and that'll be this April 2024, closing out the 7 years. There were two actions in 2021, one of which was Pope Francis going to Ur. And that meatball is in Sarah C's video with all the masked woman being hung. It's one of the darkest videos I've ever seen. And I know this guy loads her up with it. The content is way too deep for her to be masterminding that assembly. And she's been doing it a long time, like right after Wickensburg. So to get back to bros in the area, I mean, the two conferences, the Witness in the Desert and Wickensburg, were both in Arizona, which I have empty there. But Wickensburg is in Arizona. And the first meeting was in Monument Valley on a medicine man, Navajo's property. He died the day before we came, and his daughter Dorothy, we were on private land, and the Bureau of Land Management came wailing in and told us to get, we were leaving as they were coming to get us. Rex Bear was there. These are some of the key people. This little midget, Jeff Doherty, he's like a freaking, he broke out of the Pentecostal movement, and he's back with bros again, kind of. After storming off after this thing was over, he got scared. Rex Bear, who's all freaking cloned out, he's a tinfoil hat wearing Klingon, was in a hotel, and he skedaddled. He's got some other guy out there, and that guy watches Iceland, and he's grown a bunch of pot. I don't have anything against these guys, but they're freaking warlocks. Derek Bros was Enoch. So Bros' old man, his fake father's a guy named Chuck Bros. And when things went to shit in Monument Valley, and I wanted to figure out what the fuck was going on, Bros left his cell phone. He took his face away from it, and he says, my brother-in-law's house. He gave me the address. I was like one of the only people that showed up there. Jeanette was there. So Jeanette's a significant person. I did the Bofu with her, and then I stayed in touch with her, all good. Then her and Bros went at it because this guy Tim Kelly, who was at the Wickensburg conference, he was the medicine man who showed us Bofu. I did some Bofu, and allegedly, he gets the girls all whacked out and then, plays with them or whatever. So he started up with that. Bros found out about it, was pissed. She was trying to calm him down because he's not directly involved and whatever the hell. But the Bofu is good. It's from a toad that's unique to the southwest Colorado area. So when I did it, man, I took a couple of good hits, and first message I got was the Indians own this. And this same area is where the Anasazi tribe was, and they're the cannibals. So Mount Graham is down here with one of those southern dots there, South New Mexico and Arizona. That's where the Apache are. That's where Geronimo was. That's where Bush took the bones from. But Geronimo was a good man. He was told after his family was burned or murdered that no bullet was ever going to hit him. So he always went after the opposing leader and got him. They put him in charge. So Bros had these two events. One in November 18, Witness in the Desert with this crew. I was there with my RV, my dirt bike, my dog, my 9mm. We were going Anunnaki hunting as far as I was concerned. I was ready. Like, what the fuck is this? Angels or ET? Many are human. They're under the caves. What? That's where my head was. So we got chased the fuck out of there. Then I went back to the Philippines. And I was leaving the Philippines by you see, okay, so this was 2018 now, when this event occurred. By the time this went on, you're talking COVID having been released on 10/10/10 in that whole window. So it was out. And I attended this, then I went to the Philippines, kind of walking into COVID, and came back home in December and drove a rent-a-car back from LA to Arkansas. And then I went to QHHT Live a few weeks later, drove down to Miami, participated in that, and by then it was February 2020, and COVID was full up coming, so I got home and tried to get my store going. Like, Walmart came to the rescue, did they not? They set up the damn, board the airplane, the people looking at the computers. It's it's a FEMA prep center. They have a huge labyrinth underneath all the Walmarts. So anyway, these were the two events, right? And the two events in the midway of the tribulation was Yehuda ben David, or Jizariah ben David, at the wall on 27 March. That was the one count, and then the median count, it was Francis out at and with Al-Sistani right before that in early March of 2021. With COVID in full blast. Like, you could say the tribulation's COVID, you could say the tribulation's Trump running COVID with Gates, and everybody who encourages you to vaccinate was a participant on TV, paid by the CIA. Johns Hopkins read the information out from them so they could mimic the numbers. Now, is every last employee full-witting dark? It can't be that bad. Come on. But people are hypnotized, so they're sucked into it. And you have to ask yourself, did I vaccinate? Because then they were successful. Did I PCR test? Then they were successful. Do I drink fluoride in my water? Then they're successful. Do I brush with fluoride? Yes. How many of us do? Am I pro-abortion? Yes. Does human life really make a shit of a difference in a day-by-day drive by the guy so I could get my shit done? Beep, beep, womp, womp. Lock myself in my car, turn the radio on, not give a fuck, just get home. Look at what we do. We don't care about each other. I'm going to be, I'll be the guy here going, whoa. Hey, it's time. We got to dust ourselves off and discover the old ways of love. Because with those ways comes magic and power that we did not know we had. This man is an unwitting Enoch, self-proclaimed. So, this is some of his story right here, and the tribulation's closing this year. And this man is running in the wrong direction, trying to scare a woman to death, asking you for money, and you're going to hear it. Now, to cover this history so we can just watch him, he was and is Enoch. So he starts in LA. He's working for Good Bro Pictures, where he was the agent for Cuba Gooding Jr. and also a producer for Jerry Maguire. He's got some Scare of the Crows movie, and he's fairly, you would say, accomplished in the LA scene. So he becomes an entrepreneur. Now, his father is not his real father, and he looks a lot like John Podesta, who I would call Methuselah. And then you got the Book of Jared. I don't know if it's that Jared, but I'm just saying all these names pop up, and it's like them. Trump is him. Trump is the destroyer. Donald Trump was born to be a product of and bring destruction to the systems of the world. He told Miss Universe, I get even, only 10 times worse. And apparently he won Iowa. It will be known how dumb-doored we are down here. It's incredible, the allegiance, that MAGA illusion of the recovery of America, his way. What a joke. What a joke. Okay, his record shows things that needed to happen, like the opening up of child trafficking, so Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard could take it away. Oh, don't you see how that worked? Look at him arm in arm with Jim Caviezel. Hypnotist. You're up there with Jehovah and surrogate baptism and the spiritual wonder shit that they do that really matters, and you don't know it. And so you better be careful about who you are and who guides you and where you're going, because we're mind, body, spirit. Maya's got a calendar and Billy ain't gonna die, so be like me. You gotta go vegan. You gotta be smart about what you're doing every day and care about other people, because it's gonna be more than people on this planet. Grays are coming, and fear opposes love. So bros, look at his entrepreneur. Goes to Microsoft, doesn't really like Bill Gates, and I believe him. He ended up in Israel working with the, dark web community and putting on masks over there. And he's, to look at him. You're looking at a prototype Ashkenazi. He says he snorts nano gold. And is he a cannibal? I don't know. I would say no. It's very strange the way that works. But I would say no. But we all eat meat. So you're a step away from your McRib. And you're eating stuff anyway in the public markets. They put it in there. So you go out and eat in public and you just don't read the ingredients on public places. Big food chains like Papa John's, McDonald's, where they got plenty of time to dump the extra shit in their thing worldwide. And if you don't think FEMA was a bunch of guillotine meat served on this season's McRib, you're just still hypnotized and watching TV and Netflixing, and you don't know what's going on. And I was Billy the Kid, so we're walking through time. Time tunnel's real, man. It's the inner life, and it's great. All my wildest dreams, just knowing the potential is astounding. Time's a dimension. We're going to go revisit it in like-minded thinking at 4th density, 5th octave, when we hit the Mars Maldek Coalition level of awareness. I'm just waiting. I have to fine-tune myself, but I know my fidelity goes up as my brothers and sisters wake up. That's why his messages are so important. I know a lot, and I'm just putting it out. So I got in red here, he gets busted after Wiener's Wiener and Breitbart's murder. He was trying to start a church. It was Second Amendment related, and they beat him senseless. He got knocked out and taken to Mars. Man in Black program. He'll tell you he was in for 3 years, 3 months. That's that halfway mark of tribulation lore. So in his case, it was 2012, 2013, 2015 and change. Now he's back, getting ready to do Wiener's Wiener, because now he's Enoch and he knows guys from prison, so he's awakened now. So in 2017, now he's QAnon. He's learned all about the dark web. There are others that know where to go get shit, and he's masterminding it. Then he takes his now half these guys don't know each other. They get introduced, there's indirect contact, and boom, they get credibility, they're allowed on the board. They show that they know where to go get things, but they keep their anonymity. He reflected it with that mid-ages mask, like the Enoch crowd, as you've seen on those Anon videos. And he had many of them with great content about blockchain and what goes on in North Korea, that Kim was occulted. I mean, I learned a lot of things when I was waking up listening to him. Part of my path was Enoch, and I was away, having come back from the Philippines, all lamoriated up, fixing myself. I was on a hydrogen peroxide protocol. I cleaned myself up, man. That stuff is dynamite. That was Forrest Gump. They had to kick me off the golf course. I was running the golf course and going to the YMCA and working out. Then I went back to the Philippines. Had a great time. Met all kinds. Went to Bali. And now I own units in Baguio. So this is Bros' history here. And in 2018, the mask was removed. And he came out as Derek Bros and told me, Jesus didn't die for your sins. And I went, what? And it took a while, but I realized he's right. So it's very ironic that he would be such a mover in the wrong direction, yet be given the extra information that he needed to gain success early on. You'll see his numbers are still really good because he talks a bunch of shit. Watch him beg and cry here coming up. So before we get to it, just know that regarding Twitter, how he got Wiener's Wiener, there are ways that if you get the main feed, if you're invested in it, you know, you're not just having your X app at home picking people out. You're getting everything sort of in the first place, and your job is to set up the holding point. So as this traffic's coming through, if you've got some proper name there, it hits it. Because Twitter's a big sewer pipe of information. And it's all got lat-long information on it that can be geospatially put in place by a user who knows how to use that software. So now you're on a map, and as Twitter's coming in, if there's stuff related to an attack or whatever, your map can be populating with those specific locations and the users' names and everything else. Remember now that when the clone got hit in Pakistan, near the Pakistani military academy where the clone was, Tim Osman, Osama bin Laden, Tim Osman wasn't there. There was a petri dish man in the building that knew how to get shot. So when that occurred, one of the indicators that something was going on was that a guy in the local area said, hey, there's rotary wing helicopters landing over here. And that was a free person saying, I've just spotted something. And that made it into Twitter. So my point is, if you were advanced looking for something and you set up all the gates so that the information came in, you'd have it. So that's how he was able to get Wiener's Wiener. And as soon as it came in, he was hot on the screen. He did what he needed to do to screen capture it and download it and make sure it was a part of his reservoir, because right away Wiener deleted it. So I believe had Bros not snagged it, it may well have not been retrievable. I can't say for sure because everything goes to archives, but in this case Twitter's like streaming and it's not burying down in everybody's barrels. But he caught it, so he gave it to Breitbart in time for Wiener to get interdicted at the mayoral conference, because he was announcing he's Umar Habedin's and who's Hillary's aide, Saudi. So when Breitbart blew it, he had to withdraw from the mayor race. This guy Wiener probably would have won it because they elect sickos as mayors. And when that happened, Breitbart's days were numbered, so he went down, 43 years old. That's how you mark the arrest of Bros and the beating up, because he went down shortly after Breitbart got murdered, and that's when the march. So because that occurred, the NYPD had access to Wiener and the laptop and all the information, and cops were Arkansided as a result of seeing it. Hillary kuru'd out, and Donald Trump got in. So one of the many reasons for the surge of Trump, he hit all the electoral states. She couldn't stand to go compete with him in that middle period. And I guess we're doing this shit one more time. I mean, the fucking election's about over, right? Because Nikki Haley's a stooge. She'll press on until she has a period and peters out. I mean, I'm past, judging them on their fucking policies because it's a big hoax. Now, Trump will go against Biden. And, the way that things are peeling out for us right now, don't be surprised. If Trump will pass, the likelihood of Donald Trump not living over the next 2 to 3 years is way the fuck up, from either being murdered or dying from natural causes, being a heart attack of his fucking stupidity. Everybody dies, remember? So his time's going to come, just like McCain. But Trump will be, he was out, he went back on the golf course or whatever, or someone's going to take him down from the Senate, or fucking senators consult him, or Biden, or whatever. It's just the way they work, Treaties are over. I mean, who gives a fuck? You know, why should Biden give a fuck anymore? He's got it. He can do whatever he needs to do to get it done. He's done it already. He did in the that Swedish pipeline thing was dark navy. There's darkness out there. They sprayed fucking mosquitoes over in Live Oak, west of Live Oak, at the Circle K. There's a deep state, and Biden's the sitting president. He's got QAnon, and he didn't start out that way. Trump had it. Space Force was in the White House. But as this soul swap happened, the real people started going to the right rooms, and Joseph Genghis Biden is Marsing it up with my man, over there in the Ukraine, Zelensky. And we need to let Putin destroy the Ukraine and then hold his hand and X's hand and allow BRICS to overtake our currency system so we don't have to deal with the Earth dollar. Because we're talking Russian Orthodox, Mary Magdalene, and the East Gate of Jerusalem, and the Holy Spirit's real, and we're in the Golden Age, and guess what? The show's about to end. So when you're talking about In-Q-Tel, that's out in San Francisco. It's a seed company. They get money from the government, and then it commercializes. If it's a good idea, then it becomes prolific. So they use the commercial industry to get the wheels going, and the CIA sits back and takes advantage of it, and then you've got the FBI plugged in with Microsoft, and Cliff, what's-his-ass, running it. The 7th floor is working for Microsoft, and vice versa. And it's Bill Gates. Now, Microsoft didn't come out of In-Q-Tel because it was kind of like the original thing with Apple. But in the case of MySpace, he got kicked off so Zuckerberg could get Facebook. And the guy, what's his name, Stephen Levitt or whatever, the guy that did Freakonomics was a speaker out there. I was at an In-Q-Tel conference. So, back to Twitter. There was an In-Q-Tel company that had the sewer pipe that was playing around with, hey, how can we commercialize this and make it a fun thing for fucking, I don't know, you're out driving in your car and your GPS has it built in and it does shit for you. I don't know. But they were playing with it. So Furlong knew about it, invited me up. Now this guy, Mike Furlong, had been fired by Flynn and McChrystal and everybody, newspaper articles, because he had set up a whole civilian CIA. And he was a smart man with a big head and knew what the fuck he was doing. So after he got fired, he came down to Florida. I picked up his clearance. I've got Paul Morgan was working with him. He liked him. So we went up to D.C. and looked at all this Twitter feed technology. That is why I'm able to explain it. What the fuck, you think I'm a programmer? All right, so all that said, I've got his basic thing. The guy worked for Paramount Pictures and Viacom. And he was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s agent in Jerry Maguire. So go Harley Pasternak level of, but this guy is, they're just in different trajectories of steel and light, and this one is prolific. He's Enoch. Harley Pasternak has got half everybody in Hollywood with Caviezel. So you're way the fuck up there. This man is Enoch. I'm trying to make a point. All right, let's listen to this crybaby now. What a shame.
Technology to make things, look sexy and all of that. I'm going to make sure that you have the headset. Can everyone hear me? Give me a thumbs up.
I'm really embarrassed for him
that you can hear me.
because, 3 years ago when this was all kicking off, we could have woken everybody up properly and had this over with. But look where we are. Trump won Ohio.
5 by 5, you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
So this is a Hollywood guy.
Boy.
He's been to Mars.
It's amazing.
Obama was on Mars.
This family.
His family.
People associated with this channel.
He's in Mexico, but he's got followers.
And how I've seen them stretch from here to elsewhere, to other thoughts and other understandings. It's been an amazing thing. I appreciate that.
This is on YouTube now, and it's recent, a couple of days old.
I don't know how many of you, I spoke up in the last video that Sarah and I are here and we're both sick. Well, I didn't mean we had the flu. Okay? So neither of us have the flu. But I'm still doing what I do.
The flu. He was fucking sick a couple of weeks ago with crud. I don't know, did I hit the stop? I might have hit the stop button accidentally.
And that's why I really hate to, I hate to pit a platform against a platform, YouTube against X. But the reality is I have almost 2 billion views on X.
Ooh.
Over the past 9 months.
2 billion.
And I have 10 million.
What if people look twice? That's only
7 years. So why do I focus my attention here? However,
7 years. He pays attention to numbers too.
I'm here right now because I know the greatest people that I've ever known met me through here.
Well, you met me.
You met me through here. I'm here.
I didn't kill you. You didn't kill me. He wears a device. This guy could snap. He could decide to strap some shit on and walk in somewhere and fucking blow it up. Because he's on a device. And he has to obey. When he listens to what the vibe tells him to do, he's got a device. He hasn't shed that. He's got a fucking device. Like a school shooter. The waveform will tell him what to do. I'm telling you that right now. As sure as Parkland happened, this fucker has a device, and it's good for X number of meters, and his old man's Chuck Bros, and Chuck Bros is too much of a cartoon, stupid fucker to do anything properly, but he got me to go to him, right there. I was chosen to go see Chuck Bros, because I watched it happen when I hit Bros right outside his RV, in the desert. And I was the only guy he gave the address to because I took the time to fucking find out what was going on because the BLM was coming.
I am where I am, who I'm with.
I didn't come there to get rolled up by the BLM out to go at a witness in the desert. And all of a sudden we're being fucking attacked. I would have stayed if we decided we were going to stay and see what happened. They ain't going to kill us. For sure as fuck wasn't going to be arrested on a person's private property because they said to leave. So the whole thing was occulted. There was some other group of fucking gurus out there that caused the upsurgence and got the BLM Hornets moving towards us anyway. Crazy shit. That was great though. Went out there with my little poodle Gus before I had Rambo. Anyway, it's me.
I'm willing to die here with her.
He is.
We're both here in Mexico.
He's going to show her. She was in Wickensburg. I'm going to show you one of her YouTube videos and tell you he fed it to her. When you see this video, you're going to go, oh, this is Derek Bros. Make her miserable.
Sarah is one of them.
Oh, now listen to words. Right in front of her face, he's saying this.
Find her channel. I'm sure she'll post that. There she is. Down in I see her. She's in the comments. Sarah C. Okay. This woman is battling.
So she's commenting on this chat, and she's sitting 5 feet from him.
We're trying to afford alternate treatment.
I like Sarah. I met her. I mean, she's a nice lady. Broken marriage.
Very good treatment.
I explained this other lady who had the rare condition that he wanted to get to, and now he's... Listen to all the things he says right in front of her face now. To make her know she's going to die. Oh, we're going to do some stem cell, but we need your money to do that so I can take it after she goes.
Me being as honest as I can.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Timing's everything.
Okay? And we know everybody is desperate right now.
True. That's a true statement. You at home. You think you got it? You think you're loaded? Ha! Just wait. You haven't been depressed yet. You haven't been cataclysmized yet, but many have.
so people know that you're
Oh,
okay.
the big tidal wave. You're the
Right?
coyote in Miami.
She's there.
See, there she is. I got her on my cover.
She's the one battling stage 4 breast cancer.
Stage 4.
She's the one that has to deal with this.
That's
And I'm here to help her.
that's not
out of bed.
unhealable. There are doctor teams that can get rid of cancer. True statement, but it prolongs. It's just a prolonging.
This is what love is about.
There's always residual. You got to come back in 6 months.
So I want to encourage
It's like prostate
you
cancer.
all.
Like you're not. It isn't vanquished. My shit's been vanquished, beeps. I'll still sneeze if I get germs,
I'll
but
promote you. don't care.
I have a wear. Look at him. He's crying now.
Help people.
Okay.
Help them.
You ever heard of
That's all
crocodile
you got right
tears? Look at him. Stretching.
She's dying.
Oh, look. To her. Make sure she hears that.
I can't get $20 for you to help me pay for her treatment.
Oh, what? You know.
Really?
You know. That
Really?
nose is big, isn't it?
Is that who you all are?
You know. Just
I've
fucking
given millions
crack
of my
it.
life
But
away.
lay him the fuck down and waterboard him. I never thought of this before, but
And I can't get you.
Derek Bros needs to be.
I can't.
He needs a fucking waterboard treatment. Hang on. Julia. Alright, so that thing stopped. We're gonna continue to listen to this. I'm putting this up. This fucker needs to be waterboarded. He's killing Sarah C.
You understand?
Right in front of your face.
To fix something that you have the ability to fix. I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. It makes me not believe in humanity anymore.
Not believe in humanity anymore.
I know you better.
Because you're not giving $20 to him.
I don't give a shit about money.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't care about money.
No, except the 20 you want from somebody who's
But I
desperate
still
already.
do have to pay for her to get treatment.
Oh, so what are you gonna do? Go produce a
That's
movie.
it. And she can, and we can't fix this. We can't.
You don't. You're in poverty, dude.
I also have cancer.
Apparently. Oh,
Bet you didn't know.
oh, I did. You've been woofing about that for a long
So-
time.
You're talking right now to two people that are battling some serious shit. But I'm gonna battle it to the end.
Okay. I had prostate
To the
cancer,
very
bros.
end.
I got brachytherapy.
I'm
Fucked
gonna
me up. I wish I didn't do
To
it.
the very end.
You know, you eat vegetables. You could be the mayor of New York City.
Especially
Studley.
those
The mayor of New York City was cured of cancer. Michael Sedona was cured of cancer.
that you
It's
wanna
free
destroy me,
will.
destroy me.
It's intent. Cancer's
I'm gonna fight
intent.
till the very end.
You got
my very
blood
last
cancer,
breath.
bone cancer. Something's
The
intended
last
somewhere.
thing I have to say
That's how it works.
to explain to you.
You go
you can
down
say
for
yourself,
your reason. The precise
I don't care about
second
this
that you're
freaking
supposed to
world.
go to report back in.
Thank God I don't. Thank God I don't.
This man was Enoch.
But you know, I do care about our hearts.
He brought us the fallen angels from Mount Hebron. He explained them.
You wanna help
Azazel,
good people?
Gadrael,
You
fucking,
can find those
and,
good people.
and Kissinger was Enki.
We're just doing what we can.
YVWH, Obama's Columbus,
That's
Trump
all
was
I am.
Caesar,
I'm nothing more. I can't promise you.
Chairman Z
anything
is
more
Solomon,
than
BRICS, Putin's Arcturan.
that. You support me. You support Sarah. I will promise you nothing more than me spreading what I'm saying right now constantly.
But begging
Nothing
more? Between you and your
Nothing
follower,
less.
John Keane, you're a begathon. And I really have compassion for you, bearded one.
So I don't know.
Your beard's better than mine.
Uh,
You know, I guess the hairs will keep growing after you
you know, we all
croak.
know that this world is in a
Do you
very
want a
different
box
place
or
than it
maggots?
was
After
just
you
6 months
cancer
ago,
out.
right?
You know, we can waterboard you and
Just
teach
6
you
months
some
ago.
shit, Derek. We really can. You know?
have chosen sides.
You're about my height.
I've worked against it, and it's not like I'm authority.
I
in
think
this,
we should
okay?
fucking fight before you die, because I
Sure,
want to crack your
Josh is one of the
face.
first people that came
It
to me
won't
and
kill
said,
you.
"Really
No, I don't
helped
want to
me
hurt you.
Because
I don't really want to hurt you, bros, but, you know, the more I watch you, the more pissed off you make me, and I don't want to be angry. Because I have compassion for that woman that you're hypnotizing over there and killing, and I don't like it. And she's not a bad woman, she's just... You know what, before I sign off, let's watch her video. Stand by. So if you don't recognize all the Enoch insignia, I got one on the cover, but you know this from YouTube. So he's in the middle of all that, as it turns out. Alright, I'm going to attach this video here, but this is a Sarah C. video now. The girl that you saw wave at the camera.
Framework for guiding thoughts and actions into conflicts that lead to synthetic solutions which can only be introduced once those being manipulated take a side that will advance the predetermined agenda. Bring in an opposing view, bring in an opposite view which becomes totally unacceptable.
This is
to the
Tulsi
general
Gabbard.
populace, forcing
The
them
Hegelian
in a
dialect
direction
is just
where
the
they
other
will
opinion.
eventually embrace that which you wanted all along, but had
makes
they remained
competition.
middle of the road,
That's all
they
it
would
is.
never have accepted such a solution. So this is a method of mind control, mass mind control. You swing
Elections.
the pendulum to absolute liberalism in every sphere, and then you let it go and let it swing to
That's
the
a
other
trigger word.
side so that you can get exactly what you want and what prophecy predicts.
To be liberal. So this is a girl who's now got stage 4 cancer, by coincidence. And where'd she get this? She's the original producer of this. Look, now when I say producer, I don't mean that she made it. I'm saying that when you go down here, okay, she explains a little bit. This is very, so she's got other sites to look at. One of them is Enoch, Mexico, in 2018. I haven't even looked at that yet. Apparently Walter Beef is somebody important. I'll peel into this. I haven't even looked at it. Abraham is coming. This is just more, Mossad psyop. Here's her German, and a lot of these aren't on YouTube anymore. So this is her video now. Nose exposed. Hey women, your fault. Breast cancer. Let's put those pink ribbons on and let's all go down together. Hillary wore a pink dress with a big shit stain on it. She's a witch in LA, so she's all in favor of this. Epstein, hang him, as long as it's not me. Ha 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 ha. Depopulation, fear. Holy shit. Oh, it's my turn. They're picking me. Oh, but at least my nose is exposed. The air's free. Oh, my eyes are bleeding too. But don't worry, I'm not crying, really. I'm just waiting. Maybe it'll just be a joke. Maybe it's the Gong Show. And maybe it's the supervisor. And I'm Scatman Cruz. Martini just wanted a cigarette. And the chief played basketball. Juicy fruit. And jacked out of the bottom. And the chief ripped that fucking thing out. Threw it through the wall. And the cuckoo's nest was busted open. And he went vegan because he was an Indian. And he was a big man. And he kept running. And then came the switch. It's Camp Landing. You were in Live Oak. You got policed up. You said, I'm not vaccinating no matter what. I am doing something. I have a friend. We're going down together. We volunteered to do this shit together. We're supposed to be laughing because it's finally over and we're going back to heaven. We're going to trade up. Ladies, we're trading up. Why are we crying, spending that last 15 minutes standing on the beach saying, look, if it happens, it happens. Look, hey, yo, Bernie. Look, if it happens, it happens. Listen to the music. Listen to the taunting of the emotions for the viewer. And let's all do it together. One big choir. Lawyers, doctors, politicians, media personnel. Hit it! Johns Hopkins. Work, 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 work. All right, get back to work. Break's over. Back on your head. That was just door B. Sarah C. You can heal yourself, girl. I'm going to try and reach out to you and snatch you from that cretin. You need a QHHT session. Anybody that knows Sarah C., get to her and tell her that. Keen, get off your ass and do something today. Rambo, easy does it. Easy does it. Fear with him. It's Klaus Schwab with tits.
And you shall obey his word and the word of his servants here on earth. Or you shall feel the pain of his judgment.
Obey.
For that is his love.
Jared Kushner's going to be here. Don't worry about it. He's planning on the long haul with Ivanka. And Zuckerberg. I mean, come on, they're built to last. Joe Biden. Not an ounce of fat on him. John 16:2. The time's coming when they'll kill you.
Our Father,
Believing they're doing
who
God's
art in
work.
heaven. Seriously?
Miss Masonism.
What the actual fuck?
If I look at our stakeholders,
Und
we have business, of course.
mit
As a
Kartoffelsalat.
very important audience.
So
We
here's a
have
man who was a
politics,
woman in
we
India in
have,
his last life, lost his
continuous,
brother, and couldn't handle it.
partnerships with
And
many
so now the
governments around the world.
Draco come
And
to
of
him in his
course, we have
dreams, and then he
NGOs,
puts it out.
We have trade unions. We have all those different parts.
Media, of course.
Media, of course, right? And very important experts and scientists and academia.
You know, in the dream
Because
state,
if we
they're
are
telling him
looking
who
at
to
the
talk to,
future,
who his
I
friends
think we
are.
should
He
look
wakes
at
up,
new
oh, it's
solutions,
real.
and the new solutions will be very much
They're talking
driven
to him in his
by
dreams.
technological developments.
Because he couldn't handle the loss of a sibling.
Religious leaders, you
Believe
even
it
have
or not,
religious
the
leaders,
proper
right?
way.
Religious leaders, we
Blaming
have
God,
social
however you get
entrepreneurs,
through
very
if
important social
somebody else
entrepreneurs.
dies
We
and
have
you
social
can't handle it.
entrepreneurs, very important social
It
entrepreneurs.
destroys you.
What is a social entrepreneur?
A social
Divorce, when
entrepreneur
she
is
leaves,
someone
a
who,
death when they leave, and it just destroys the person.
taking the
You know, a little bit of like
working
Costello,
somewhere on the grassroots
Lou Costello,
level,
when he
working
lost his
somewhere on the
daughter,
grassroots
it
level,
ruined him, and he was a
creates
depressed man until he died.
You even have religious
And you're not
leaders, right?
supposed to
Religious
go to
leaders,
that
right?
level
Religious
because
leaders.
Queridos amigos,
there he
son
is. Here he was,
7:11.
halfway mark of the tribulation.
Sé que
He
están
went to see
reunidos en New York.
Al-Sistani, then he went to Ur.
San Joseph
That's the
Seminary,
oldest temple in the world, and it's,
cuyo rector es el
he's
obispo James
Argentinian,
Massa,
he's
con la participación del
Jesuit,
cardenal Joseph Tobin.
and he's
Los
point of
saludo
origin
cordialmente.
Nibiru,
Le
Anunnaki.
agradezco vuestro compromiso
How many
con John
popes do we
Seminary.
have these days? Are we down to
Un
2?
retiro especial sobre reconciliación
Supposed to be the last
relacional.
pope.
Un nuevo
And this
camino
guy looks
para
like a freaking
reconciliación
walking
de los
155 around. He's got to be carried up to put in the
La vigilia
wheelchair.
de Pentecostés organizada por la Comisión
So
para la
this is
Unidad de
back a
los
while
Cristianos
now
de
when
Cádiz.
all this Trump shit was going on. And then you had the other
El
guy
momento transmitido a todo
saying
el
this
mundo
guy
de
was an
Jerusalén.
Antichrist. He was another guy in Rome,
Recordé
an
precisamente
Italian
cuánto
guy.
me conmueve
And
la
then he
expresión
folded
de los
in,
hechos
you
de
know,
los
Biden got
apóstoles,
in.
con la
Because
cual
that other guy
definía
was appealing
la
to Trump.
primera comunidad
And then this guy
cristiana.
stays in and, you know,
Quienes
fucking
encontraban con
Biden
ella.
gets the team.
Miren cómo se aman. John 17
So, I'm going to forward this.
Full power over you, and more
This is a
importantly,
Sarah C.
that we
video
don't
now.
give
She put this
narcissistic
together.
states power over the world.
So this
So
is
I'm going
Mexico.
to talk about the nature of the beast, this
She had
particular
linked this in
variety
her description.
of person that doesn't really function the way most of us does. What makes them tick? What is it about
And
them
then-
that is fundamentally
and narco-
different and that we need to look out for and that we can
Apolitico.
recognize and do something about?
And Acapulco.
First of all, you will never meet
Anarchy.
the real them. Everything
Acapulco.
they do 24 hours a day
Acapulco
in front of other
Gold.
people is an act. They are pretending. They are pretending with the sole goal of getting you to be a source of power and attention
Here's another
for
word,
them.
act.
Every political campaign is
stage.
exactly that. What
A movement of
persona is
legislators,
this
an
candidate
act.
going to make up
in a play
What is he going to pretend to be?
of hypnotism
We're going to look
to
at the polls.
control
We think if
you,
you get in
the
the back of a
act
pickup
of
truck and you wear this, people will
the
think
Acts
you're
of
one
the
of them.
Apostles, Paul.
That's how they think. The monsters basically
Yes,
think, what do I have to
abracadabra. I'm a
pretend
tax
to be
collector.
to
I
get them to
murder
give me power,
Christians,
to
but
get
I
them
am
to
going to
give me
make the book.
control over
And
them.
Thomas won't.
It's the same with the individual as it
And
is
Timothy was
with the individual
occulted.
politician and with
And Bill
government
Garrison
as a
was
whole.
Paul.
Governments, the
All right, we got the
nastiest
main,
tyranny
we
you
got
can
the
think
idea. I'm
of,
going to attach
never
Sarah's
did they
video,
come out
peeps.
and say,
Joy to the world. All right. So that was that. I could put Bros back on, but I don't really want to waste more of your precious time. I'm going to attach Bros' video. I'm going to attach Sarah C's video. And I'm going to wish you a great day. Because we're allowed to have a great day. Love and light. Upside down.